I'm Jackie Jing with Mixed Asian Media. So, my first question, can you talk about your Asian heritage and what it means to you? Lana, I made eye contact with you first, so I'll start with you.
I should have been like, yes, I'm Vietnamese American. I was born in Vietnam and I was adopted at 4 months old to a white couple that brought me to Chicago. And then I became so blessed to have the most amazing mixed race family. My parents, they also adopted my brother, who's not my biological brother, but he's from the same orphanage. And so I grew up in a mixed household, and it genuinely like was the greatest joy of my life. I think my parents did everything that they could to um, educate and expose me to where I come from, and of course, you know, my my culture in that region. But at the same time, it was so important for them to make sure that I knew where I was from while also being like, this is also now your home. So trying to find that balance was, and having them encourage that balance was really, really special. And I attribute any good part of who I am is from my parents. And maybe they're not Asian, but they sure did love me so much and encourage any sort of curiosity and encourage knowledge constantly when it comes to my identity.
Hmm.
Okay, Lana's gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a tough one to follow up. But you're mixed, so I'd love to hear about your experience too.
My mom's Chinese Malaysian. Dad is American, British Irish descent,
Yeah.
according to 23andMe.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. And my mom taught me how to cook. She taught me the family curry, the Malaysian curry. Yeah. And I love Irish. I love
Is
Irish
it Guinness? No.
Yeah, I do love Guinness.
Yeah.
I do love Guinness, and I think that is a purely heritage DNA, not taste buds.
Just
Yeah,
heritage. Yeah.
you gotta split the G every time. Yeah,
I love that. Nothing like mom's cooking, right? For sure.
yeah,
Um,
and Guinness.
what a combination.
Yeah.
Growing up for both of you, did you ever feel different? And how did you learn to accept who you are?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
weirdly, I think our friendship it kind of began because we could relate to each other's
Yeah.
kind of experience
Yeah.
a little bit. But oh my God, of course, girl. I mean, especially as like someone who is adopted, like my brother and I, Asian, parents, white, like even like going into a restaurant and telling like the host, remember like as a child going to the restaurant and telling a hostess like, oh, I'm meeting my parents here. Like
Mm.
I had my brother and I was like, oh, Artie and I, we're meeting our parents here. And they're like looking around for like
Yeah.
the Asian parents. And they're like, oh, they're not here. And I'm like, no, they're right there. They're literally right there. Those are my parents. And they can't like, it's hard. It was hard at
Yeah.
the time. I don't know if as much so now, but at the time, like when I was growing up, people had a really hard time
Mhm.
grasping that we could be a family. And not to, it's not woe is me. If anything, it has made me stronger and a better person. But like, there's definitely been times where I think like, you know, I have been actively questioned that these are my parents. Like I've
Mhm.
been questioned at the border. Like when
Oh.
I was, yeah, when I was trying to, I won't say which country, so like I can
Yeah.
still travel there. But at a border, I was taken away from my dad
Oh
and
man.
interrogated and was essentially told, like, is he sex trafficking you?
Yeah.
Because it's a white man and me, and it was so horrific. And I'm like, no, that's my dad. Like, look at my passport. That's my dad. That's my dad. And then having my dad to have to come in and hear that conversation
Yeah.
is mortifying for him. And so definitely like growing up in that family unit, it's like from the outside, there were definitely moments where people had a really hard time believing that we were a family, which only ever strengthened my love for them and likewise, but it's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well,
sorry, I think I overshared.
For me, I didn't know whether I wanted to eat McDonald's or Yoshinoya, you know.
I'm being like sequestered and deported.
I'm like, man, do I want the teriyaki beef bowl or do I want a Big Mac? Whoa. No, I mean, seriously, for me, like, I grew up in Northern Virginia, which is a very like diverse suburb of DC. So there was a lot of Asian people and a lot of white people, not a lot of mixed. So yeah, it was like I never really knew where I fit in.
Yeah.
And I felt a little excluded from both. So it was like I had like a couple of my half Asian friends that were like,
hey,
what's up?
Totally.
Good to see you. Yeah, and that's yeah. So yeah, it's just like you fall in between the cracks sometimes.
Yeah.
And yeah, but none of that. Fortunately, yeah. Fortunately. Yeah.
It makes us stronger. I think Lana said it best. You all were fantastic in this movie. Thank you for being vulnerable. And Mixed Asian Media loves you both so much. So thank
you. Thank you. Great to speak with you.